Welcome to the Road to Roseboro. We discuss college football. Who do I have sitting to my left?
Jim Harbaugh's resume.
We'll get into that here in a minute, but yeah, we have a lot to talk about with that.
I am everywhere, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm just getting shipped all over the place.
it's not good. That's Brian you're hearing. Who do I have sitting in front of me?
Jacob.
Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah.
All right. Before we get started, I mention this every episode, but I just want to talk about the painting again. That we use. A friend of mine, Michael Elswick, painted it for us. Great artist. His email will be in the link. Will be in the description down at the bottom. We'll link it, and you can check him out there. He's great. But on to the games. We have a lot to talk about this week. Crazy week of football.
Yep.
First off, recap. We're not going to talk much about Michigan here. We have our own little section for that here in a minute. But we're going to get on to we're going to talk about Wisconsin's performance against Michigan. What do you think about the Wisconsin Badgers as a football team, Brian?
Complete. Yeah. They're actually one of the more complete performances I've seen in a single game.
Yes.
Pretty much. Because one of the things I was most impressed is the fact that Jonathan Taylor was out for 2 quarters.
Yes.
And he still managed to get up 200 yards.
Which, fun fact, he's actually the first running back in Wisconsin history to run for 200 yards on Michigan. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
But the other 2 running backs managed to play very well too. I was also impressed by the quarterback. He did very well when he had to.
You know, he's just a freshman.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yep.
But he played well when he needed to.
Yep.
And yeah, just overall, yeah, very, very impressed.
Yeah, great game plan by Wisconsin.
Yes.
I liked a lot of what they did. It was very physical, very violent. Again, we're not talking about Michigan here. We have a whole lot to say about them. But, Jake, what do you think about Wisconsin versus Michigan? What do you think about Wisconsin's performance as a team?
I'll be honest, I didn't watch it. That was last Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working that night.
Yeah, he had to work.
We've been short-staffed. Had to work a good bit.
Yeah, he's had to, but he is getting to catch some college football on the NAIA level. He's getting to watch it.
And honestly, it's so fun.
Yeah.
One
of the down weeks, I'll have to go down there and watch one of the games with you because...
Man, I'd recommend it. It's pretty wild so at times.
Yeah. You say the local team, the local college in our area gets a ton of penalties, don't you? Don't they?
Yeah, a decent amount.
Yeah. Yeah. Sloppy play.
But the way they come out on the field, man.
Awesome.
That I'm telling you, it's the coolest thing ever.
Mm-hmm.
They have a guy riding a motorcycle with the mascot on the back of the motorcycle carrying a big flag flying down the field, and all the team chases after him. And then fireworks go off.
Yeah.
Man, it's just I wouldn't expect that. I did not expect it whenever at first I was like, oh my god,
that's neat for a small college.
Oh yeah, man, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, this is a game that we all got to see. I'll actually ask Jake about this one first, just because he actually got to watch this one. USC versus Utah. What do you think about USC's performance against Utah?
Let me try to remember which one.
We watched it last Friday.
Yeah, last Friday. Oh wait, is that the one USC lost?
No, USC won. Their quarterback kept on chucking it all over the place.
Oh,
we kept on joking about that. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. He just turned into an outright gunslinger toward the end, man.
He didn't care what down it was. He was slinging at 80 yards.
Yeah. It was. It didn't work every time, sadly, but
they did win.
They did win. Yeah,
a win's a win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was voting for Utah to win. I wanted the.
You picked Utah last week.
I really wanted.
Brian picked SC.
I really wanted Utah to win.
Yeah. Well, there goes there.
But that was still a fun game to watch.
It was.
The main quarterback gets injured, and they bring in this dude, and he's just like.
That wasn't even the main quarterback. That was actually their second stringer.
Oh yeah, this was the third string.
Yeah, they were down to the third stringer.
Play. And he's just launching it like Aaron Rodgers down the field.
He was a beast.
Off of back foot and everything.
He didn't care.
Just like, what? Wow.
Yep.
That worked.
Just throw it up, catch it.
Yeah. Brian, what do you think about the game?
A lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun because it was like I'm surprised we didn't just start doing pools of him throwing it deep, being like, oh, he's gonna catch it.
Yeah,
like let's put money in, see if he catches it. It was so fun.
That and the Utah secondary. Oh my God, they played horrible.
Yeah, because a lot of those catches or a lot of those passes,
double coverage, and the safety was way out of position.
Yeah. Or other
What
times,
are you doing?
or other times it just seemed like they were just staring at the ball as it landed,
Yeah.
like right in between them into the receiver's chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It's
nuts.
sloppy.
Very, yeah.
But that actually continues USC streak against Utah. Utah has not won there since the 60s. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But this was actually a huge upset last week. Pitt versus UCF. I don't think Jake got to watch this one either, unfortunately. But for context, UCF has went unbeaten, Jake, for 2 years now in the regular season. And they got upset by Pitt. Just what do you think that means? What do you think that could mean for like UCF's program? What could that mean for the morale? Do you think that this could be like a thing like to wake them up, or as a program?
So did you say UCF beat Pitt?
No, UCF lost to Pitt.
So, and Pitt was a massive underdog.
Yeah. Pitt was 1-2, and UCF hadn't lost a regular season game in 2 years. So
Really?
yeah,
And were they rivals or anything?
no.
Oh, okay. It was just
It's just out of conference.
I
game.
would say a very minimal will be done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to lower the morale, but as for like the coaching staff, their jobs are probably safe.
Oh yeah. That's not what I'm worried about. I'm just worried about the team maybe where they lost to like a power program. They're not a power school. Them it taking the wind out of that motivation to go unbeaten, make a New Year's Six bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that does suck a little bit for them. I'd say that might take a little bit of the wind
Yeah.
out of their sails.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Brian?
I don't think very much actually about it because it was bound to happen sooner or later.
It was.
You were going to lose a regular season game eventually, but I think the only thing that sucks is the fact that it wasn't to like Ohio State or Alabama
There's
or anything
where
like that.
I think it hurts them.
Yes,
Like if they lost to-
it was to Pitt.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Then that hurts big time. I think.
they would have preferred if it was Penn State. Like
Yes.
like who is the best? Which I think they are like the best college football team in Pennsylvania, right? Is
Yeah.
Penn State.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the fact that it was to Pitt, that's where the pain comes in. But I don't think very much. I mean, I've told you about what my mentality has always been when it comes to losing, or like whatever angst or anger or bitterness you're feeling or frustration, you just let that build up and just take it out on the next opponent you have.
Yeah.
That's always really been my mentality about it, and that's what I hope that they're going to do. That's what I hope every team that loses a game does.
Yeah.
Um,
I am interested. I guess where where I'm kind of at, like this could hurt them is they did get their chance at a power program, not even a very good one,
right.
in the regular season, and they blew it.
Yeah.
And they're not a power school, so they're from the group of 5. So I think that could hurt the team's morale, and I don't think UCF is going to be the New Year's Six representative this year from the group of 5. I think that's going to hurt them, especially with Boise State still winning and stuff. But on to our next game, Auburn versus Texas A&M. I even didn't get to catch much of this. I just knew Auburn whipped Texas A&M all over the field.
Which I didn't see coming.
Yeah.
I actually Texas A&M would.
I had Auburn winning, but
win
now
that.
me and Jake actually got that one right.
Yep.
Auburn killed him. What do you think about it, Jake? Is that Texas A&M?
I won.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
he done good, folks.
Manziel couldn't carry Texas A&M. The
spirit of Manziel.
yeah.
Yep.
Couldn't carry him.
Yep. Yep. They all have spirits, man.
Yeah, the spirits, man.
Yep, deep down inside.
They carry the team.
Yep. Speaking of spirits, the spirit of Gardner Minshew for Washington State didn't help them. So I have a lot to say about this game before I ask your all's opinion. You're up 49-17 in the third quarter with 2 minutes to go. Your quarterback throws for 9 touchdowns, and you lose. How? Pathetic, awful defense, terrible.
Now you know how Atlanta feels.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't hurt by this game. I was more just sitting there just in disbelief what I was watching. What do you think, Brian? What do you think about this game?
Yeah, I didn't see it coming.
No,
Literally.
UCLA has one of the worst offenses I've seen in the country.
Yeah, because it's just what I'm at a loss of words. Actually,
Yeah, it's terrible.
because 49-17, how many points is that? That's 32 points.
Oh, yeah, 32 points. They were up 32 points with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter.
And it's not like you guys weren't scoring either. Because what was the final score? It was something. It was a basketball score.
67-63.
That's a basketball score.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, I've seen college basketball games lower scored. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic.
That's like the kind of thing you see in like a football
Video
spoof
I've seen it in
movie.
a video game.
I've seen it in parodies. I've
Yeah.
seen that in football parody movies.
like really cheesy movies.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, they came back and they won. They won state over some big school in Texas or whatever.
Yeah.
But you don't expect things like that to happen in real life.
Yeah, especially when the team is like UCLA.
Yeah, incompetent.
Yes.
And it was at Washington State. Jake, what do you think about UCLA coming back from 32 points?
Well, Minshew could only carry Washington so far.
Yeah.
I feel like the players didn't put in enough effort at all.
Yeah.
The way too many giving up kick returns and punt returns.
Yeah. You can't really have that. You gotta.
A lot of lucky breaks. A little bit of luck with
The power of Minshew did not. It didn't manifest. It didn't help the football team.
He realized that this team needed to be humbled.
Yeah.
So he rode his motorcycle into the sunset.
Yep. And now he's in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
He drove his motorcycle all the way from Pullman, Washington, to Jacksonville.
That would be something that
Yeah.
he would do.
Yeah. Well, he is a badass.
I mean, yeah,
He is the man. The
I'm not-
stash.
that's true.
But-
Like Ron Jeremy, but skinnier.
But on to our last game of our recap here. Notre Dame versus Georgia. Holy hell, what a game.
Yep.
God almighty. Ridiculous.
Yep.
I'm the Notre Dame fan here. I want to say some things about this game before I turn it over to y'all because
Go ahead.
this game, because I could be one of them dumb fans that say like, oh, the refs did this or the refs did that or we didn't get this lucky break in this moment. We can't commit that many penalties. That was issue number one. I don't care what kind of hostile environment, and that was a hostile environment, but you cannot commit them penalties and expect to win if you're elite.
Mm-hmm.
You got to overcome them. Number two, we cannot get the run game going. And number three, congratulations to Georgia. Y'all were the better team that day. But I think I came out of that game impressed with Notre Dame's tackling. I thought that was really well done. And yeah, just a solid, very good football game. Brown, what did you think about it?
Pretty much what you said.
Uh-huh.
If I can add on to the fact that it wasn't just Notre Dame's tackle. I love the effort that they gave.
Yeah.
Because that game was very close to getting out of hand.
Yeah. And actually, I want to add one more thing.
Go ahead.
You cannot go an entire quarter not getting a first down and expect to win. You know they went
No.
the entire third quarter and Notre Dame didn't get a
Yes.
first down?
Yeah.
I blame that game on the offense. The defense played their heart out.
Yeah.
Played their heart out. Them giving up 23 points is not that's not a real stat. Georgia had the ball for I think 10 minutes more than Notre Dame did.
And they held him to the. I think I read up that they held him to the least amount of rushing yards that they've had all season.
46. Notre Dame had 46 rushing yards. Pitiful. Absolutely pitiful.
Notre Dame's defense held Georgia to their.
Yeah,
to
Notre Dame had 46 rushing yards, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good game plan by the Irish on defense.
Yeah. Because like I said, for most of that game, especially in the second half, Notre Dame's hanging onto that game by like the thinnest of threads.
Mm-hmm.
But they held on.
Yeah.
They did not let that game go. They made a point to make it to where like it came down to the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give them all the props to that, and I give all the credit to Georgia, who was just the better team. They were more disciplined, didn't commit as many penalties, didn't make as many mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
All around good, and
Props to Georgia.
props to Georgia. Great game.
Yeah. What do you think, Jake?
Wanted Notre Dame to win.
He did. We actually all picked Notre Dame, which was sad. But what do you think this means for Notre Dame's season going on? Do you think they could possibly learn something from this game? Do you think Georgia? Well, actually, what do you think this means for? We're making this too much about Notre Dame, I think, just because I'm a fan. What do you think this means for Georgia going forward?
That's probably gonna. I don't know. I'm probably humbled and Probably humbled them and sort of gave them something to learn from at the same time because they could have had that game in the bag so many times, and they tried to give it to Notre Dame, but
they did.
Notre Dame did not want to win that night.
Yep, because just bad clock management by Kirby Smart, Georgia's coach, near the end. Actually, I think that was abysmal, but it was sad. And also, one good thing I think this could do for Notre Dame, I guess, and Georgia both, is that they both have already played real competition. So I think that could help them in the long run. You know, they've already got the big game out of the way, per se.
And I can see Notre Dame. I think both teams are going to win out.
Uh-huh.
Well, no, wait. Georgia plays.
They don't play LSU or Alabama. They got lucky.
Oh, okay.
They do play Florida, but I think they'll wax Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, they don't have to play. They have to play LSU or Bama, so they actually got lucky.
I was going to say if they have to play those two teams, and I think that both teams, I think they can win out.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Especially Notre Dame, looking at the rest of their schedule, I think they can too.
So I think both teams will be fine.
Yeah. Now, as for Notre Dame's playoff chances, what do you think their playoff chances are after this loss?
There's too many good teams, man.
Yeah, I think it's done.
Yeah.
I think New Year's Six, yes, obviously.
Yeah.
But playoff chances,
no,
it's over.
Nothing wrong with that. Only 4 teams are getting in, so I mean.
No. The only bowl games that matter are the playoffs.
God. don't turn
if we lose the New Year's Six bowl, I'm just going to start complaining like the Georgia fans last year.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't turn into a Georgia fan, Jesus.
Just start being a crybaby. Yeah. But speaking of that epic matchup, what is our top 5 coming out of? Who do you think are the top 5 best teams you have seen this year, Brian?
Man, that is tough. Now, this is just the ones that I've personally seen.
Yes.
Now, just because I'm not the biggest college fan, and the fact that some Saturdays I just get really busy.
Yeah.
I haven't personally seen a few teams. Like Ohio State's not going to be on my list. Alabama's not going to be on my list. Yeah. So this is just teams that I've only personally seen. Number 1 is LSU.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, they've been good.
They have been so good. Like, Burrow better be a Heisman contender right now.
He will be. They're scoring. They're scoring 64 points a game.
That kid better be a Heisman contender. Number 2 is Wisconsin.
All right. Oh, yeah, that's actually very good.
Yeah. Number 2 would be Wisconsin.
Yep.
Number 3 is Auburn.
Auburn.
I've been very impressed by Auburn. They're the team that they keep getting better every week.
Yeah.
Is what I've seen. And the fact that they just dominated Texas A&M the way they did.
They murdered them.
Yeah.
At A&M.
Yeah, at A&M, that was very impressive.
Yeah.
Well, no, wait. I tell you what. Make Auburn 4. Make number 3 Georgia.
I think Georgia has the best win on the season.
Yes. Yeah. I'll say Georgia. So make number 4 Auburn. Mm-hmm. Number 5, give me a second. Teams I've just personally seen. I would probably make number 5 Florida. Probably. Just the teams that I've personally seen. Yeah. Because Florida's impressed me just about every week they've played too.
Yeah. I'm really reluctant to put Florida on anything because I hate their state, but... Notre Dame is an honorable mention in that list. Notre Dame is definitely an honorable mention. And I've got a few honorable mentions I could make, but those are like the top 5 teams I've personally seen that have just been like, okay, I'm sold. Mm-hmm. Who's the top 5 you've seen so far this year, Jake?
Clemson, Georgia, LSU, Maryland.
They lost to Temple. But you didn't get to see that game.
He did watch the Syracuse game.
Yeah,
they won 63-20.
Yeah,
and Georgia State.
And Georgia State, yes.
The only game I've seen.
Hey, Georgia State is the greatest football team ever.
They did beat Tennessee.
They're going to win the Sun Belt. Yeah. They are. The spirit of Tebow will guide them.
That's right.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Go on to the Rose Bowl.
Yep. Hey, you know what? They'll do better in the Rose Bowl. They'll win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. They'll sneak into the NFL somehow.
Yeah. They'll replace the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. They'll just replace the Miami Dolphins.
I did forget about Texas. I did forget about Texas has also been really good. Mm-hmm. But again, that's just an honorable mention.
Yeah. My top 5, I'm going to go with number 1 LSU, number 2 Georgia, I'm part of this is based off resume. I could easily say Clemson or Alabama or things like that, but And I do think Clemson and Alabama are the two best teams, but just their resumes so far, I can't really say anything pertaining to that. I'm just going off who these teams have beat and who they've played. But LSU number 1, Georgia number 2, number 3, I'm probably going to go with Auburn. Number 4, Wisconsin, and number 5, Notre Dame.
Okay.
Notre Dame has, even though they lost, they have played one of the. And I flip-flop between Notre Dame and Texas there, but yeah, that's not like who I think are actually the top 5, but who I would rate in the top 5 pertaining to a resume.
Right.
But yeah, onward to the subject that I am really juicy to talk about, and I think we all are. Brian, do you think Jim Harbaugh's an overrated coach?
Overrated coach in general, no.
Mm-hmm.
Do I think his days are numbered in Michigan? Yes.
I agree.
Because I think Jim Harbaugh is a great coach, just overall. What he's done and everywhere else he's been. And even in Michigan, he's been a good coach.
Yeah.
But the thing with Michigan is you
There's
could
a
go
standard.
you could go 11-1 in Michigan, and that one loss is Ohio State and get fired.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't. You can't.
You can't lose to Ohio State.
Yeah.
And how many times has he beaten Ohio State since he's been there?
0.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the problem. He could go 1-11, and that one win will be Ohio State, and he'll get to stay.
Yeah.
That's the way Michigan is done. It's not exactly fair. It's not.
Well, no, I think it's fair because you signed the contract, and that's the expectation.
True.
You beat Ohio State. I don't care if you're 7-4 or 1-11. You better beat Ohio State.
And what was
your job
what was his record against ranked opponents since he's been to Michigan?
1-9.
Yeah.
1-9, and he's 0-7 as an underdog.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yep. I've noticed the thing with Michigan. They beat these teams to death that are underdogs to them. Well, they murder them. But the minute they have to go up against a team that's their equal or a team that's favored by a little bit over them, they lose horribly.
It's like that schoolyard kid that keeps beating up all the little kids, and then a kid similar size comes up and just kicks the crap out of them. That's what Michigan is right now.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
Yeah. Now, and again, this isn't taking away anything from Jim Harbaugh as a coach overall.
I think he's a great NFL coach.
Yeah. And he's a good college coach.
Yeah, I think he would be good at a program like Iowa or Kansas State or maybe back to Stanford.
What is the offense doing?
See, okay. I don't understand it either. I am beyond befuddled from what I have seen. They hired a guy, and Jake, I don't know if you heard this story or not. They hired a coach. And I'm not kidding about this. Jim Harbaugh hired a coach that he had no conversations in person with. Had never called offensive plays, and was basically just like an assistant offensive coach out of Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they hired him as an offensive coordinator to do all the schematics, all the play
calling.
Everything.
Yeah. He does everything.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that?
Why?
That's
exactly.
Yeah. That's my reaction.
Perfect. Yeah.
That's
idiotic.
There's no sense behind that whatsoever.
You can't do that.
Because everyone said that Jim Harbaugh is more of a defensive-oriented coach.
Yeah.
Which is weird because he was a quarterback.
Yeah.
So that's kind of ironic.
Mm-hmm.
But even Sean McVay, who's an offensive mind, was smart enough to get Wade Phillips as his defensive coach.
Yeah.
And like, if you're not completely centered around one part of the game, you get a guy that you know could be good.
I have seen all these dumbasses defend Jim Harbaugh, and they're saying it ain't Jim Harbaugh's fault, it's Josh Gaddis' fault, the offensive coordinator. He hired Josh Gaddis.
Yeah.
Like, it's Jim Harbaugh's fault.
It's the root of the weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't hire a guy with no experience. That's idiotic.
Without even meeting him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't get it either. Jake, what do you think about Jim Harbaugh as a coach? 1-9 against top 10 teams, 40-15 overall record. Went to the Super Bowl with the Niners. Just context. What do you think about him as a football coach? What do you think Michigan should do going forward? Do you think they should keep him, or do you think they should look beyond him?
They should trade. They should trade him.
Trade him.
Hey. Well, actually,
for John Gruden.
I actually got a funny story about this. Whenever he went to the Super Bowl with the Niners, you know the Niners were about to trade him to the Browns because Jim Harbaugh was getting too much credit.
Yeah.
For them winning.
Yeah.
I wish they'd traded him to Oakland.
Yeah. Hey.
That could have worked.
That should have really worked.
Like Jim Harbaugh taking Derek Carr under his wing with Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
Oh my God! How history would have changed.
I bet Jim Harbaugh wouldn't have traded away Khalil Mack. He would have loved Quillmack.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he likes them edge rushers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like Jim Harbaugh seems to be really good at getting linebackers.
Yeah.
Because even no matter what you say about Michigan right now, they still have a good linebacking core.
Yeah. Yeah, I
It
mean,
didn't really show in.
they got outmanned.
Yeah, but even before that,
Yeah.
the linebackers were still really good.
And I do want to add one thing to this. They had 2 weeks to prepare for Wisconsin.
That's true.
You have 2 weeks to prepare, and you're not really comparing for a complex offense. Everybody on planet Earth knows what Wisconsin's going to do.
They're giving it to Jonathan Taylor.
They're going to run the ball
Or his
45
backup.
times
Yeah.
down your throat. And they're not even going outside with it. It's going straight up the middle. If you are out-coached and out-schemed in that situation, there needs to be some huge...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said this earlier. When you know that outside of 2-minute drills and 3rd and longs that they're not passing the ball.
Yeah. Stack the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
pathetic.
not rocket science.
Yeah. And honestly, it almost looks like Jim Harbaugh. You remember Jim Harbaugh back in the day at Stanford? I don't know if you remember this or not, but at Stanford,
I probably don't.
One of his players busted open his head with his helmet, and Jim Harbaugh took the blood off that guy's forehead and smeared it on his own face as war blood. Where's that Jim Harbaugh at?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That Jim Harbaugh don't exist now. That Jim Harbaugh now looks like he's defeated. He looks done. Jim Harbaugh back then used to be crazier than hell. That
almost looks like
his
his
identity is gone.
It almost looks like he's bored.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually starting, does he even like coaching in Michigan anymore?
I'm starting to think not. I think that, and I think a lot of this has to do with expectations and pressure, because at the 49, because look at Stanford. Okay, he takes over Stanford, one of the worst college football programs take over. He excels there, no expectations. He takes over the 49ers whenever they were a dumpster fire, no expectations. He does well there. He takes over Michigan, and all these fans are throwing expectations on him like crazy, and he has not met them. And honestly, they're not that big of expectations. Beat Ohio State.
Yeah.
Beat Ohio State.
Even when they were kind of beatable last year, he got crushed by them.
They should have beat them last year. The Michigan team we watched all year was better than...
Yeah. And Ohio State is a far better team now than what they were last year.
Ohio State kicked shit out of them. It'll be a massacre.
Yeah. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
You got murdered by Wisconsin.
Yeah. That game, Ohio State and Michigan will be 59-7 maybe. It would be an utter joke.
But I tell you what, I will say this. Now that the expectation is that they lose the game against Ohio State, do you think he'll pull some bullcrap and win?
Actually, maybe, because
just to flip the script a little bit,
I can see maybe a 7-4 Michigan team. It's at Michigan this year. I can see a 7-4 Michigan team. Ohio State is unbeaten, number 3 in the country, number 1, whatever. It doesn't matter. They're unbeaten. I could see Michigan maybe pulling off a shocker there.
Right.
I don't think it's going to happen, but
realistically, no.
But if they do, his job is saved.
Yes.
But if he don't beat Ohio State, I'm starting to look at some replacements. Now the problem is I don't know who's going to take that job. If Jim Harbaugh can't work there,
right?
Who can? So
maybe because my money is Cliff Kingsbury will probably get fired by the end of the year by Arizona.
Michigan ain't hiring him.
I'm just saying, I'm just spitballing there.
Yeah.
But
he didn't work at Texas Tech.
True.
Yeah, he didn't work in college either. So he ain't a good college or pro coach. But yeah.
I could see them maybe taking like an offensive coordinator that leaves another team wanting to be a head coach and doing something like that.
See, I was thinking maybe they could hire Clemson's defensive coordinator, Brent Venables.
Okay.
He's a very good coach defensively, but again, you're running into, I think, a issue of being a defensive coordinator and being a head coach is very different. And I think a job like Michigan, you go for the best. I'd almost consider Mike McCarthy.
Actually, that's actually not a bad idea.
I wouldn't hate this idea. He's already in that region.
Yeah.
He's familiar with that region. The only thing I'd worry about is recruiting. I don't know how that would work.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Who would be your suggestion for Michigan?
John Gruden, if they give us that guy.
Yeah. Just trade him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Oakland, Michigan, like the dean of Michigan goes up to Davis and it's like, hey, Davis, we'll give you Jim Harbaugh if you give us a shot.
He'd say no.
He would. Yeah, you're right.
No.
You're right. He's a dumbass.
Yeah.
Your owner's an idiot. Or
Yeah.
no. According I'm sorry. His father's a hack.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
father's the hack.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
his
Al
father's
Davis was
guard-
nothing.
Yeah.
He's nothing
Yeah.
like his son.
Yeah.
His son's leading us in the right direction.
His son has beautiful hair too.
It's perfectly evenly cut. I'll
The
give it
greatest
that.
hair you'll ever see in your life. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Onward to Kansas and Kansas basketball.
What's your opinion on? I don't know if have y'all heard this story?
Very recently when you told us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kansas basketball is in a heap of trouble, not with the NCAA, but with the FBI.
Didn't this happen to Arkansas a couple years ago? Was it Arkansas?
Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arizona got in trouble for this crap too, and actually Louisville. So
Oh god.
yeah. Okay. So right now, Kansas is looking at charges of lack of institutional control,
Which is very vague.
Which, well, here's the thing that worries me. That's what Baylor got.
Really?
Yeah, and Baylor was the whole rape scandal.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I said very vague.
Yeah,
I was
that-
thinking money problems, but
So I'm starting to think there might be something else going on there at Kansas that the coaches know and they haven't reported to the right authorities, things like that.
oh god, I
And-
hope not.
Kansas ain't New York. You know, that's a small town where everything gets put underneath the dirt. So, but what I wanted to ask about this is, one, do you think Kansas will possibly be looking at the death penalty if this is severe enough?
I mean, Baylor didn't, but
I know that's the sad part.
yeah, that is the sad part. But if it's anything like Baylor, then
and,
yeah,
and Kansas is bigger than Baylor.
yeah.
So,
And not to mention the fact that it only seems the fact that like if it's a money thing, because this is just the way the NCAA is, because they're monsters. But
yeah.
if it's a money thing, probably like if they find out that they've been giving like hundreds of thousands of dollars and it's been proven.
I know
and
we were
there's
going with this, and it's sad.
Yeah, it is sad,
Yeah.
and it's and there's documentation of it. But if
Yeah.
it turns out that there's like video evidence of like the players like beating girls or doing terrible things,
Let them off the hook.
committing federal
Yeah.
felonies, then yeah, they'll get a slap on the wrist.
That is sad.
They might all get suspended,
Yeah.
not be allowed to play in the game, but the institutional will not shut down.
That is terrible.
That is so
But you're
bad.
right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. What do you think, Jake?
I mean, yeah.
Like-
Money's more important than morality.
Yeah. Yeah, in college sports, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they could have video evidence of two of the players like setting a bus full of kids on fire.
It doesn't matter.
And the university will be, and the university could be proven to have covered it up.
yeah.
And nothing will happen to them, and the two kids will probably go to prison, but nothing will happen to them.
Might get
Yeah.
fined.
Yeah.
Might get fined.
Might get fined.
Yeah, they might get fined.
Yeah,
they might
yeah.
have to pay like a couple $100,000, which is
They'll get paddled by the dean.
yeah.
Young man, you've misbehaved.
You've been a naughty boy. Yes, you have.
Come here now. But
just takes off his belt.
that's sad, though.
You're
Like,
gonna get a weapon.
this is terrible that the NCAA is really like this.
Yeah.
And this is actually, we've been talking about the pay-to-play thing and whatever. That's the sad part. Is like NCAA's garbage.
It is.
But yeah, I don't know. The FBI's been cracking down on college basketball a ton. College basketball is probably the most corrupt thing I have ever witnessed in my life. When the FBI has stepped in, something was went horribly wrong.
Did the FBI step in on SMU in the 80s?
No.
No.
Okay. Yeah, and they shut down their football. The NCAA shut down SMU's football program.
Yeah.
They do.
SMU had they had a scandal where they were paying players
Yeah.
to come to their university, and they were getting the top athletes in Texas. SMU. We're talking about SMU, not Texas A&M. It's already suspicious. And it came out that they were buying players like Lincolns and
Right.
like
Yeah,
these nice cars.
Texas A&M gave Eric Dickerson a Trans Am.
Yeah, no, I-
gave it to him.
Yeah, they're like, you have to come to our school, and he's like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
And he drove it to SMU. He drove it to SMU.
Yeah, like what are you going to do? Report it?
Yeah. I'm going to tell them where I got it from.
Yeah.
It's just
Like, see how that works, dummy. But yeah, college sports are pretty corrupt.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get on to a very just subject that I'm very interested to hear all of your all's opinions on. I think Jake actually thinks differently on this one than me and Brian do, so I want to actually ask him first. What do you think about the NFL wanting to extend the season to 18 games out of 16?
I mean, I don't see an immediate problem with it.
Uh-huh.
We always moan and complain that football's over too early. If they tack on 2 extra games,
Mhm.
I don't see how that would hurt anything.
I see your point from like us viewing it. Like
That's
us
the
watching.
only way I will ever see it. I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm the viewer.
I know. You're viewing it from like your perspective of like you want more football.
Yeah.
And yeah.
More football equals me happy. I
I
mean,
and I want
make Jake happy, boy.
And I want those guys to suffer for my entertainment. I don't care if you're not going to be able to chase your kids around.
Who cares?
Who gives a crap? I want my entertainment.
I'm sorry.
Suffer for me.
They're the ones that signed up for it. They signed up knowing they were going to suffer for me.
Well, they can pull Antonio Brown for the first 2 weeks and then come back to a team. I don't know. That can work.
But I think it's a terrible idea.
I do too.
Yeah, I think it's a terrible idea because we complain that football's not all. The best thing about football is the fact that it
don't
does,
overstay its welcome,
and it leaves you wanting more.
Yeah.
And you're always excited to come back next season. It
Yep.
always makes the beginning of next season that more special.
Mm-hmm.
Like week 1 is like the best time of the year for us.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it would really, and not to mention the fact like how sloppy
That's what I was about to mention.
would those teams
We've
be?
had the sloppiest football games in the history of mankind.
Like those-
Thursday night football is already a disaster.
Yeah.
Thursday night football, if for anybody that don't know, the games are on Sunday. How much practice time does that leave the teams for the Thursday night game?
And most of
None. And
most,
you have to rest like on Monday
Yeah.
instead of practice. So that gives you what, 2 days to prepare?
yeah, and some teams actually
And
don't
the
start
games are
practicing
horrible.
until, and some of the teams don't actually start practice till Wednesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, like Wednesday's like the big day for practice.
Yep.
So
the games will be sloppy, I think.
Yeah.
But I do see your point, Jake, about but I also think that with the XFL coming along now,
that'll fix it
yeah, I think that'll like fix our little yeah,
if they don't screw it up.
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon has never screwed anything up.
He's perfect.
He is.
He's almost run.
I gotta actually
he's almost
give-
run the WWE into the ground.
Yeah.
But
And he ran the first XFL into the ground.
yeah.
He did turn the WWE into a monopoly, though. So.
He did. He
That's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's a bad thing, but he still did it.
yeah. And he don't care. He's Vince McMahon.
He's Vince McMahon. I'm not going to be mad at him. If he were to become dictator of the world, I'd be like, that's the perfect guy for it.
yeah, I think I'd be happy with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be fine with it. It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
Vince McMahon's our dictator. All
Yeah.
hail Vince McMahon.
All job interviews would be performed in the
monitored.
Hell in the Cell.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It'd almost be like that Saturday Night Live skit with Will Ferrell. Yeah. Like, I don't know if anybody has never seen this.
Watch this skit. Just
yeah.
look up Will
Ferrell
job interview
skit.
SNL. Yeah, yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, where he like raises hell on his employees. I feel like that's what Vince McMahon would make
Yes.
this world.
I love the fact that
Hopefully
he
the XFL turns out that way.
I've actually heard that Vince McMahon is like an amazing boss to work for.
I have heard
except
that too.
from the people that don't like him.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that don't like him that still say he was a great boss.
Yeah.
I actually one of my go back to that Will Ferrell bit. One of my I think our favorite bit from that is when he literally smacks one of his employees and then
Yeah.
just comes back to him
He
like,
goes,
"Hey, what's happening, man?"
Yeah. Yeah. That skit's hilarious. For anybody that hasn't ever seen that one, it's
Look it
great.
up.
But I figured we get on to some. Actually, I figured we'd talk about Daniel Expletive Jones.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Let's talk about Brian having to eat crow here, because Brian,
It's one game.
whenever he got drafted, all I heard from Brian was, well, you know, like he ain't no Dwayne Haskins. You know, he ain't this. He didn't impress me at Duke, and my point was he didn't really have the receivers to put up big numbers at Duke. So first, I want you to get the crow out of the microwave, heat it up, and enjoy that serving. What do you think about his first performance, Brian?
It was great.
Yeah,
I won't take anything away from it.
Yeah.
It was against Tampa Bay.
that crow's pretty tasty.
It was against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
It was one game.
Yeah, that crow's pretty delicious, ain't it?
Yeah. I tell you what, come to me with this same energy when he throws 4 picks and less than 50% of his passes are complete. And come to me with this same energy.
No, Daniel Jones is gone.
But he
Next
played
Tom
great.
Brady
I'm not-
confirmed.
Yeah. Oh God, you have me fearing something now. Actually, what happens if this happens? Okay, they started off 0-2, right? The Giants.
Yeah.
What if Daniel Jones leads them to a Super Bowl run against New England? Think about this.
And then he gets hurt, and Eli Manning has to come in and play.
And then they do. No.
And they did the all bullcrap Eli Manning play
Yeah.
the Super Bowl thing.
Yeah, they'll do like, well, who's going to start this game? And then they start Daniel Jones, and he leads like a drive down the field, and they win the Super Bowl. I'd be horribly pissed. I'd be like, I was wrong about Daniel Jones. He sucks. I hate him. But you didn't get a chance to watch this, I don't think. But actually, you don't know much about Daniel Jones, do you?
I know I thought he looked like a real wimp.
Yeah.
Whenever I first saw him drafted, I
He's
was like,
6'5", 230.
yeah, he looked like a wimp, though.
He beat your skull in.
Well, I mean, still thought he looked like a wimp.
He actually looks like Eli Manning's son.
He does. Yeah.
Somebody made that comment. I'm like, oh my God, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, they both look like the derp. That's what scares me the most. I could see him coming in and like, I don't know, doing something crazy. I don't know. And plus, he didn't have Saquon Barkley. That's what impressed me the most. Saquon Barkley got hurt, and he played that great.
He was my favorite running back, and he's out for a month. That
Yep.
sucks.
Yep. Very sad for him.
Yeah.
But onward to just a couple of NFL games we're going to recap.
Yeah.
And, I figured we'd talk about the Browns versus the Rams first. Actually, this was the one I wanted to talk about, so I'm going to say some things first.
Go ahead.
Holy hell. The Browns' play calling is Ask Madden. It is the worst thing I have ever looked at in my entire life. They run 4 verts on first down, run draw plays on 4th and 9s. They have no offensive line, no protection schemes at all. They can't adjust to whatever the defense is doing. The Browns' defense deserves a Medal of Honor
Yeah.
for keeping them in that game.
Yeah.
What a terrible game plan. I have never been more – I don't even blame Baker Mayfield. A lot of people are wanting to blame him. He didn't play great. He actually played pretty bad. But this starts with the coaches.
Yeah, it does.
This starts with the coaches.
The only
big
thing,
time.
the only valid criticism I'll give to Baker Mayfield is the fact that he was seeing ghosts.
Sure.
He was running out of the pocket when he didn't need to.
Blocking
Yes.
for you.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's the only valid criticism I will give to him. But even then, it has an asterisk.
Yeah.
But yeah, and here's the thing: you said that how the defense, all those defensive guys were backups.
Yeah.
They didn't have a single defensive starter in their secondary.
Yeah, all their secondary was injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they played like that.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. But I'm pissed about this one just because I'm a Patriot fan, yes, but I want the Browns to succeed because their city needs it. Their fans deserve it.
It'd be good for the NFL.
The Browns have been utter garbage for my lifetime. I want to see 1 year where they're at least good. And I think we're falling into a thing where they're not going to win the division. Ravens are.
Yeah.
Ravens will kill them this week, I think. I don't have much confidence in the Browns. I don't like their play calling. I don't like their preparation.
Yeah.
I think they're just a bad football team. What do you think about the Browns, Jake?
I mean, it's
I think you
SSDD.
SSDD.
Same crap, different day.
Yep. Yeah, you're right.
People hype up the Browns. They're like, oh, they're finally going to be good. And then this happens.
I will say on that.
I'm still going by the fact that the Browns is where your career goes to die.
Yeah.
That still is.
Yeah, they're the 2010s Buccaneers.
Yeah.
pretty
Actually,
much.
Jake brought up this point once to me. He said that that talent for the Browns, it might work for a year and then it might implode. It'll probably implode.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's going to work for a year.
I don't think. I think Baker Mayfield is going to get out of there as quick as possible if it keeps
He
up
can.
the way it is.
He's held by that rookie contract. That's the one downfall to all of this.
Yeah. I will say this, because I actually said that
Unless
too.
he pulls Antonio Brown.
Yeah. I actually said that too. I said that I think that this will work for 1 year, 2 at the most.
Mm-hmm.
It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
I didn't think it happened this soon.
No.
I expected this to happen in 2020 or 2021.
Yeah, this is a mess.
I did not have any. I didn't have really many hopes at all for the Browns. I was thinking positive record. I did not think they would even make it near the playoffs.
Well, no, one of our podcasts, I think you picked them to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I also picked Georgia State to win the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, well, that's actually a possibility.
You picked Kentucky to go to the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah,
That's still my favorite. I can't say much. My Nebraska pick has gone to hell, but
good job.
yeah, I
But-
know I'm a dumbass.
I'm probably more in the race than you are.
Well, I don't know because Kentucky lost to Mississippi State, so I think your pick might be in some trouble here.
I still can't wait to go watch them play.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I
Play
think
Arkansas.
they're going to win.
They'll kill Arkansas. You see, Arkansas lost to San Jose State.
God.
Holy hell!
Okay, but
What a dumpster fire.
yeah.
But you know what? Arkansas and the Browns are kind of like the same, just dysfunction.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's all I want to say about that game. Just utter disaster. Browns coaching staff should be held accountable.
Yep.
Just a terrible performance.
Yeah. Is Kitchens getting his inspiration for play calling from his nightly Madden sessions?
No, I think it's Ask Madden. I really do.
Seriously?
I think what he does is he plays like a game of Madden. He presses a square to Ask Madden, and then he writes down all the plays throughout the game that Ask Madden has chose, and that's his whole entire play sheet.
Because at least what I could say for
There's
the first...
I'm confused about the draw on 4th and 9. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm befuddled.
Because it used to be like some of the biggest flaws with a lot of like inexperienced coaches is the fact that they overlook little things, details they don't really pay attention to.
I wouldn't even say little things for Freddie Kitchen.
Yeah, Kitchen is
stupid shit.
Ignoring the basics.
Yeah,
it's just these are like standard
Logic.
NFL coaching 101.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. But onward to the Eagles versus Packers. I figure I'll let Brian start with this one because this is
Brian's a Packers fan.
he loves his Aaron Rodgers, his baby.
I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan. What do you want?
He played great.
He did play great.
Yeah.
Hope he has a career injury.
I think the only thing I will fault on him is the fact that I don't care what Matt LaFleur calls to you in the play. If it's first and go at the 1 yard line, just run it.
Yeah.
Just call an audible and run it and just send it right up the middle.
Uh-huh.
But that's the only flaw I'll give to Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think it's Rodgers' fault.
I am nitpicking when I say that, but everything else, I think Rodgers played great. I think Carson Wentz played great. I think everybody. I think everybody had great games.
I think the Eagles' secondary looked like garbage.
Yeah, the Eagles.
I thought they played pretty terrible for the most of the
except
game.
that final pick.
Sure.
That was a great play by I can't remember who the corner was. That
was a great play.
That was a great play. So they came through in the clutch.
Yeah.
And
hopefully that player for the Eagles is okay.
Yes, definitely. Oh god, yeah. What have we figured out?
I haven't seen what the injury is. I actually haven't looked it up. That's my that's my bad because I probably should have done that. But that did look pretty
I was relieved to see that he was talking coming out.
Yes.
Like he was talking coming out, so that was good.
Yes.
My guess was a really bad concussion.
I think so too.
That was my guess. He'll probably be out for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe a month. But Devontae Adams played great. Devontae Adams went out like gangbusters, and I think one of the big reasons why they couldn't finish that drive was because that he was on the sideline with a turf toe injury.
Yeah.
And the running backs for the Eagles played great too.
They did.
Like they did a great job.
I'm intrigued to see where the Eagles go from here.
I think this could be the start to a run.
Here's my only word with the Eagles. They wake up during the big games. You gotta beat these teams that you're supposed to.
The Falcons and the Lions.
Yes. You can't lose to teams like that.
I think this will wake them up because like I said, this is a big time game. It's a Thursday night spotlight game.
Mm-hmm.
It's against a pretty heavy opponent at very rough environments, and they came out with a win. And they were down 10-0 in the first quarter. So I think this is a great wake up for them.
Yeah.
I am actually optimistic about the Eagles from this point forward. Personally,
I think they'll have a good season.
Yeah. It'll be the Cowboys and the Eagles will be neck and neck for the division. I think.
Yeah, I think we're going to learn a lot about the Cowboys, which actually is a good segue. I want to ask Jake first. What do you think is going to happen between the Cowboys and Saints? Who do you think is going to win that game?
Saints, from what I've seen of the Colts.
The Cowboys.
Cowboys. Saints, because I like the Saints better.
Yeah. That's a good reason.
Yeah.
It's at the Saints.
Yeah, it is at New Orleans.
Yeah.
Well, Hurricane Katrina's going to come by them.
It's going to knock out
the spirit of Katrina. No, I'm not even saying that. God, no.
The spirit of Katrina will save
Katrina,
the world.
God.
Oh God, I am so sorry. I just said before I thought.
As you were saying, I started thinking. I was like, "That's a perfect joke," and I heard you say, "I was like, no, you stole my joke."
I am. God forgive me.
I thought like my Florida jokes were pretty bad.
Yeah.
Jake's
that was a slip of the tongue, man.
Was bad, and now Brian has just now made the greatest.
That was a Freudian
spirited jokes of all time.
That was a Freudian slip on my part.
Yep,
God forgive me. Oh my God.
Yep, I agree
was
with you.
bad.
I think the spirit of Katrina will help the Saints.
Yeah,
I am.
Yeah.
I actually feel really bad about that. But
nope. Katrina will win the game.
You already did it.
Yep.
But
wash the Cowboys away from their hype.
That's right.
Yep.
Wash them right off the shore, like so many people.
Yep.
This is like the ultimate blunder for me. I have one a week, and this is like as bad as it gets.
Oh, this was beautiful. This was the greatest spirit of anything I have ever heard.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. You know,
I can't believe that Brian toppled my spirit of joke.
Well, you know, the good thing is I think the spirit of Tebow can help come down to New Orleans after the spirit of Katrina, beats the Cowboys. I think he can clean that mess up. So I think we're all good there.
He'll bring his
Just make
he'll bring,
just make
he'll
fun of
bring
like
his flex tape and fix all the damage.
Start flex taping houses together. Yeah.
It just works.
Yeah.
It's Phil Swift.
just
Bring Phil Swift down there.
The spirit of Swift.
The spirit of Swift, the flex tape guy. Yeah.
I think the funniest thing about that was the fact that I was midway through saying, like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I'm a monster.
Just make fun of like one of the
catastrophes
worst
in
natural
Louisiana.
disasters of American history that affected so many lives, killed multiple people, led to looting and pillaging,
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
and martial law. Just oh my God, I'm a terrible person.
Well,
I might as well
Actually-
just go ahead and make fun of Pompeii while you're
Yeah,
at it.
well, you know what,
I'm
though?
going to hell
I know
for
what,
this.
though? You know what? I actually don't look down on this because the NFL Network basically did that for like a year.
They did.
They were like, oh, yeah, these people, they made it through Katrina, and now they have hope. This football team is hope. They're everything. And they did it for like 9 years. And I'm like, Katrina was 9 years ago. Can we stop talking about Katrina?
Yeah,
NFL Network, like,
yeah.
everybody's good down there now. But onward to the Colts versus Raiders. Jake, there's no Katrina that can help your beloved
God.
Raiders in this game. So what do you think's going to happen in this game?
Raiders are going to win, of course.
Why? What will guide their...
I don't know. I guess the spirit of the Zodiac Killer. I'm trying to topple Brian. It's not going to work.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the Zodiac Killer didn't operate in Oakland, did he?
He operated in California as a
Yeah,
whole.
I know California. Oh, he did. Okay, I didn't know he. Okay,
I know the big thing was San Francisco.
yeah,
That was like
that's close to Oakland.
Yeah, it's only like,
So-
what, a few
Yeah.
20, 50 miles?
I think it's like a bridge away, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Zodiac Killer's going to massacre everyone, I guess. I don't know.
It's not topping Katrina. Katrina's
No.
going to be hard to top, man.
Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah.
Yeah. I legitimately feel guilty about that.
Oh, I love it.
Brian will
Oh
never
my-
be a comedian because of that right there.
Yeah, the spirit of Katrina.
Brian will never
What does that
be-
say about me? Because that just came so naturally to me. Like,
Oh,
what does that say about me?
That's a joke.
It is, but
But the I'm gonna go with the Colts in this one.
Shut up.
I'm taking the Colts.
Shut Shut up.
Yeah, because the Raiders are such garbage. That's why I'm taking the Colts.
Shut up.
The Raiders are a dysfunctional mess, owned by an idiot and coached by a guy who looks like he's the president's son. So his hair.
yeah,
They both got dumb hair.
that stupid bowl cut crap.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
You know, he was actually voted like world's sexiest, like in the top 50 sexiest people at one point. John Gruden was.
No.
That's a thing. That happened in the early 2000s.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I'm serious. Look it up. I'm serious. That happened.
No. No.
It was before he went to Tampa Bay. It was when he was his first tenure in Oakland.
I don't believe it.
Yeah. I will pull up my phone and fact check this. This happened.
Who'd they poll? Like, was this all the U.S.?
Yeah, it was like a USA Today's like top.
Did like all the idiots in Florida all gather together and they were Buccaneers fans?
It might have been USA Today or People Magazine or something like that. Like, and yeah, I think he was like it wasn't like he was like in the top 10 or anything, but he was
still.
he was in top 50 sexiest people in America. Top 50.
Considering I wouldn't make it in the top 500,000, he's hotter than me apparently.
I think anybody's better looking than John Gruden.
Well, thank you.
Oh, Jake, you don't look like John Gruden.
You're not at all a looker. I kind of want to bleach my eyes, but you don't look like John Gruden.
Holy hell, that's a story. I did not know that.
I didn't either.
Yeah, you learn something new every day.
He
John
does-
Gruden's
I
one
mean,
of the
he's
sexiest men alive, apparently.
Yeah, he's deserving of it.
Yep, what a beautiful, elegant, bow-headed man. But onward to one of the biggest games in the NFL season so far, and actually a game that really you wouldn't suspect would be one of the biggest games of the NFL season. The Patriots versus Bills.
Are they playing at the Bills?
They're playing at New England, I think.
Oh, that
Brian, could you
sucks.
check that for me?
They. Oh wait, no,
No,
they are.
it's at Buffalo.
Is that Buffalo?
Yes.
Oh, crap.
It
Okay.
is at Buffalo.
That scares me. Jake, what do you think's going to happen in this game?
I'm hoping 19 feet of snow fall down and they have to play in it. That's my legitimate hope. I hope that there's 4 feet of snow on the field and they have to play in it.
It's September.
Yep.
Well,
It's Buffalo.
that's true. It is a hellhole. Buffalo is terrible. The spirit of snow will guide Buffalo. But Bills actually had a game like that not too long ago
Well, I mean,
against the Colts.
Philadelphia, or was it the Eagles and the
Eagles and the
Lions?
Lions, yeah.
That game was amazing.
It
I watched
was.
that.
It wasn't even that good of a game. You were just like, oh my god, what a mess.
I thought it was a good game.
I thought it was awesome to watch.
Yeah.
Because it was like snow.
If it's awesome to watch, it was a good game.
Yeah, I'm talking about as in like football wise, it wasn't. That
I don't
good.
look at that as a.
Man,
that
it was a snowstorm.
That
I
was
was like,
blood. That was just blood sport for me at that point.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, play in the snow,
Kill each other.
be miserable.
Yeah. Suffer for my entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen in this game?
Man.
Brian?
I tell you what, just because it is at Buffalo,
Mm-hmm.
and just because you know about the Buffalo fan base,
Oh, they'll be throwing dildos all over the field.
yeah.
If anybody don't know, Buffalo fans throw dildos on the field.
Oh my
during
god.
it. Yeah.
Wait, do they have to censor those or?
Well. I mean, it's not like a planned thing. Like it just happens every game. Like a fan just goes. One fan different. It's different people. Like
Wow.
one of the dumb fans will bring a dildo to
But
the game
what?
and throw it on the
But
field.
what if like 2,000 people did that?
Oh my Buffalo, do this.
No, for real. What would
If
what
we
would
have
NFL?
anybody who probably not, but if there's one person in Buffalo listening to this,
Or someone that knows someone from Buffalo.
yeah, spread the word.
Get 2,000 people and all of you do this and just
Yeah.
see what the NFL does about it.
I want
Like,
this to happen.
are they
so
going to
bad
try
now.
and censor it? Well, you can't censor
can't,
that.
'cause it's
Are they
live.
they're not going to pull it off the air either. That's losing
No.
so much money.
Well, I mean, it's live. There's
Yeah.
no way to really control that. Like if it
The only
happens-
way you could control that is if they pull it off the air and like
or
replace it.
like
with-
just make a point like keep away from this camera right
if
now.
there's
until we clean this up.
2,000 dildos laying on the thing, it's not going to happen.
That's true.
yeah, don't show that. Show these dildos instead.
Yeah. Show the green one, not the purple one. He's reminded of Grimace.
Oh my god.
Buffalo, do this. I don't care about the game now. I just want this to happen.
But
Yeah.
I actually think this will be a trap game for the Patriots.
Could you imagine if one of them threw it and tried?
I'm trying.
If everyone just aimed for
Can-
Tom
can-
Brady's helmet to try and stick it to it, so he has to play with it.
Can we get back to the game, please?
yes. Okay.
That'd be great.
I think that this actually might turn out to be a trap game for the Patriots.
Yeah.
Because the Patriots are pretty heavy on injuries right now.
They are.
They are-
Holy hell.
They're,
Yes,
they're
they
pretty
are.
battered.
Even Brady's, I think, on injury list, but he's playing. It just
Okay.
it's not
So-
a severe injury.
Who knows?
Yeah.
This actually might be a trap game. Like
I got this low scoring.
I could see Buffalo pulling this out. I won't say anything definitive because it's the Patriots.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing definitive when it comes to the Patriots.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to keep my eye on this game.
I've got this one just because New England, to me, is the most complete team in the NFL.
Right.
And their offense has been sustaining most of the injuries, but their defense, holy
Yeah,
cow.
they have one of the best defenses in the league right now.
Yeah, I think, and I do know this stat. Bill Belichick has never lost to a quarterback under 26 years old.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to lose this game, but I do think it's going to be very close.
Mm-hmm.
I got this game being 17-14 New England.
Yeah.
I think this will be a war, and hopefully the dildo attack happens.
I want it so
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. But all the people in Buffalo, bring all your dildos. Just do it. Just do it.
Bring everyone's.
Yeah.
Bring your neighbors.
Yep.
We don't care. Just bring something.
Do it. Do it. This would be better than the Area 51 thing.
That'd be much better.
Yeah, at least this would actually happen.
What would they like? You know, this
Three
this
people
will go
go
down.
Dildo Gate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. New England, they're
Sexgate.
yeah, they're making people throw dildos on the field nowadays. But on to actual football. Upsets of the week in college football. Hopefully Jake remembers his. He don't. Thank you, Jake. This is amazing. Brian, who do you got this week?
I had Washington State beating Utah.
Yep.
And yeah, just because of the fact because honestly, I don't really think Utah like has really proven anything over the last few games, like because their biggest win I think was against BYU,
Yeah, it was.
and BYU is not.
They got beat by Washington 45-19. I think.
Yeah, so
BYU's not a good football. I mean, they're a good football team, but not anything. Great.
and they also lost to USC, led by a third-string quarterback.
Yeah,
So
God himself.
I actually don't know how Utah. It actually surprised me when I heard that Utah was favored in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think after what Washington State pulled last week to UCLA,
I think that they will bounce back from that.
you think?
I think they will.
Mhm.
You really think that those players are not fearing for their lives under Mike Leach right now?
I don't know. Mike Leach probably attack him with a sword or something.
Yeah.
He's crazier than hell.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
think that they'll come out and beat Utah.
Yeah. My upset of the week is Nebraska over Ohio State. Part of this, I need Nebraska to do this.
This is more out of desperation than logic.
because Nebraska was my bold pick of the year. We've already lost to Colorado. This is actually game of the week, and not for our game of the week, but game of the week on College Game Day. Lee Corso will be picking this one. He'll probably pick Brutus, the Buckeye. I hope Lee Corso puts on a big ear of corn on his head.
I think that's a favorite thing to put on. I think is actually Brutus the Buckeye.
It is because it's his first.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Nebraska. It's a home crowd. Nebraska has sold out every game since 1962, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. What else is there to do in Nebraska, Jake?
Corn.
Corn upon corn.
And I know for a fact that every single Michigan fan is hoping Nebraska wins this game.
Oh God, yeah.
Just so the fact that there's still a chance for the Big Ten championship if they lose.
They still got a chance because if they win out, then it'd be Wisconsin versus Michigan.
Yeah.
But in Michigan, you ain't win the Big Ten.
Yeah, no.
But
they're clinging on to that.
Yeah, I think Jake was right.
Yeah.
What's your upset pick of the week, Jake? He forgets.
Let me see the book.
Nope.
Take a wild guess.
Who's my favorite team?
Notre Dame.
Who's they playing this week?
Penn State.
No.
USC.
No.
UNFC.
No.
UFC.
Virginia. They're playing Virginia.
That's it. Virginia.
He's got Virginia.
Beating Notre Dame.
All right. Yep. All right. So we're going to get to our 5 games of the week. We're near the end. This episode's been going on pretty long. We had a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But our 5 best games of the week, Brian already gave his explanation for Washington State versus Utah. He's got Washington State. I'm going to go with the Utes of Utah. It's at Utah. I feel like this is a bounce back game for Utah as well, and this is really a toss me up. Who do you got, Jake?
Utah.
Yeah, you got to go with the Mormons, man.
Yeah.
And Mormons are dope.
That's what they smoke.
Yep, Bible fan fiction. Okay, USC versus Washington. Who do you got, Brian?
USC versus Washington.
Uh-huh.
I'm actually going to take Washington.
You want to take Washington?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will take Washington over USC.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to have another game like he had against Utah.
Yeah, you can't do that 2 weeks in a row.
No. So
that ain't gonna
if he
work.
goes in pulling that crap against Washington, bad things are going to happen.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Washington as well. Who do you got, Jake?
Washington.
Washington.
Yep.
Okay, we got Ohio State versus Nebraska.
Ohio State.
You got Bucky. You got Brutus.
Yeah, I'm going to go with what Lee Corso's obviously going to pick.
Yeah. Well, heck, Ohio State should win this game. I got Nebraska because of personal reasons.
I bet my kneecaps on it.
Yeah. I bet my life on it. Brian, who do you got?
I got to go with the easy one, man. Ohio State.
You got to go Bucky.
Yep. I got to go with old Bucky.
Yep.
At least I'm going to get this one right.
I hope you got Nebraska wins.
If so, I would love it.
Yeah, it would be cool. Okay. We already know who Jake's got between Virginia versus Notre Dame. He's got Virginia.
Virginia.
He's a very confused man, people.
It was a joke.
No, you were dead. We are all serious here.
Fair
We're
enough.
we're all business.
That'll work.
Yeah, but who do you got, Brian?
I'm actually going to go with Notre Dame.
Yep.
I think it'll be a bounce back win for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
I agree. And Virginia almost lost to Old Dominion last week. So
in fairness, Old Dominion, very old.
Yeah.
They have
and they are Dominion.
Yeah. They're very wise.
Yeah. They probably wouldn't throw dildos on their field.
No,
Yeah.
they throw Bibles.
Yeah.
They know it would confuse the Notre Dame for they are Catholic.
Yeah. And our game of the week in college football, we went for FCS game this week because there's no huge top 10 matchups, and we thought it'd be fun to enter back into like the FCS football realm. I know Brian and Jake probably don't know as much about these two teams, so I'm just going to give both these teams are pretty equal. It's at Yale. Yale has a stadium that holds 64,000. About 12,000 will probably show up to the game, if that, maybe even 800 students. So who do you got, Brian, in Yale versus Cornell?
I'm just going to go with Cornell.
Cornell, the Big Red?
Sure.
Yeah, take Big Red. Who do you got, Jake?
Yale.
Yale. I'm going to go with Yale as well because it's at Yale.
And Yale and Well rhyme.
Yeah, Yale and Well do rhyme. And Well, what's Well start with?
W.
Yeah, they're going to get that W.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. There you go. There's our logic, people. Also, one more thing I want to bring up. Dartmouth University in the Ivy League. You know what their mascot is?
What?
Keggy the Keg.
See, that's amazing. I want to go to Dartmouth.
That's badass.
I would go to Dartmouth right now if I could be a keg
That's an
meister.
Ivy League school. It's like this guy dressed up as a keg and
Yeah.
he runs around
Yeah.
the campus.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's funny. But we're about to the end of this. One more thing I was wanting to bring up again. The logo you're seeing on the screen was painted by a good friend of mine, Michael Elswick. You just go down to the description, click on the link, and you can email him for some great artwork. This episode was sponsored by Jake's Glasses. Jake's Glasses, you can get them anywhere off. Actually, no, this episode was sponsored by Dildo. Buffalo Dildos and Buffalo fans. So just go to their website, and yeah, you can go talk to all of them. But I think that's about the end of it. Do y'all have anything else to add?
I'm sorry, guys.
Katrina out.
I'm sorry. See you guys.
New
I'm
Orleans
sorry.
out because of Katrina.
Really though, more.
This is Cameron Maynard coming to you with our games of the week in college football. Washington State at Utah, give me the Utes. USC and Washington, be a good game, but give me the Trojans. Ohio State and Nebraska, Ohio State all the way. Virginia and Notre Dame, got to go with the Irish. You know, I think they're a much better team than Virginia. And then Cornell and Yale, the game of the week. Give me the Big Red, baby.